Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Jeff and Paper Gary, a Vans RV-8 building YouTube channel. If you have been following with me for any length of time and watching some videos, you'll know that the previous videos, or the first early videos, were really more of practice kits and me trying to figure out how to use a GoPro and getting set up and ready for aircraft part building. So today we're going to be touching aircraft parts. I got the replacement parts in that I ordered from Vans. That will take care of the corrosion impacted parts that I purchased with the used kit. So bought a used kit, had been sitting for a little while, had some corroded parts or parts with corrosion that had to be replaced, and I've got those in here now. And we're going to be working on the horizontal stabilizer today. So, one thing that I did want to mention, we talked previously in my videos about tools and things, right? So you know the saying, a poor mechanic always blames his tools. I think there is a second part to that saying that goes something like a good builder knows when to replace worn out tools. If that doesn't already exist, I'm going to make it up. So here is a flush rivet set that I had been using that came with a kit. And as you can see, the face of this thing is pretty gunky. Had some tape on there at one point in time, and then this rubber cup that's around here that's supposed to help the part from help the tooling head from slipping while you're riveting. It's pretty hard and dried up and not really effective. So I ordered another one of these. It's on my rivet gun around here somewhere and been working pretty well. So a little bit of update on that. So what else? Got the TV in here so that I can go look at my engineering, which will help, so we can kind of look at whatever it is we're going to do today. Horizontal stabilizer. And one more thing I want to share with you guys, the first piece of airplane art that came to me in the mail from a family member. So thanks, Uncle Louie, for the airplane picture. Great addition to the aircraft shop here that was severely lacking in airplane art. Okay, so I think that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and readjust the camera so you guys can get a better view of what I'm doing, and we'll tear into this horizontal stabilizer and see how far we get today. So let's talk about Saturday. Saturday was a decent build session, got a few hours in the garage, was pretty happy with it overall. What you see here is a part that, of course, already primed. We didn't go over this in the video because this is a portion of the horizontal stabilizer rear spar that the previous kit owner had completed at the time that I had purchased it. So this is right about the point where this previous owner left off. And I took this all apart to get it to fit in my truck appropriately without damaging it. And so I'm putting it back together and going back and verifying all the things. So within this spar, there are some brackets that get mounted to them, as you can see there, and certain holes that have to be oversized for later assembly. So I'm really just looking over everything that was done previously, make sure that things were match drilled, and as you can see, I put it away before I clamped on two more of the brackets. So with those out of the way, I went on to the forward spar, which is where this 6-degree bend piece comes in. And throughout this video, excuse me, you'll see me spend probably way too much time going through making sure that I'm getting to 6 degrees. Now, it is a pretty critical part, but I am also a very type A person that's kind of obsessed with numbers and measurement and precision. And so, you know, when the instructions tell you use a cardboard template and whack this thing with a mallet in order to bend it to 6 degrees, that doesn't compute very well with my brain. So the rest of this video is going to be a little bit about how I went through and got those bends to where I think is 6 degrees, and which are the same between the two parts, the 810 and the 814. So guys, I'm not gonna lie, this part here is a little bit nerve-wracking. This is the 6-degree bend that we have to put in this bracket here. Wish me luck. The instructions tell you to bend with a mallet. I'm not exactly sure how that's supposed to work, so bear with me as I figure this out. So this was a lot of back and forth, kind of trial and error when it comes to bending. Typically, if you're bending metal in some kind of shop, you have a brake of some sort that you clamp metal in and you bend it, and there's a measurement device, and you can get highly accurate on the first go. When you're using blocks of wood, that's not really the case. So this is a lot of me going back and forth, and you don't really see it, but each time you see me get down there and measure with the ruler or the protractor, I'm going back to the vise in between to go tweak those ends a little bit to try to make them as perfect as I can, same on both sides, right? So want to make sure that we've got the same amount of angle on each end of the part.
Okay everyone, I probably just spent way more time overthinking, measuring, and bending this brace than I should have. The directions call to measure it to 6 degrees. And they tell you to use a cardboard template as a guide. So understand we're dealing with minute of cardboard here for accuracy. I've got this digital angle finder or protractor that I purchased, and it is highly accurate. So accurate that if you breathe on it, it's off by, a 1/10 of a degree or something like that. And as I said it out loud, 1/10 of a degree sounds a little absurd. But this is a pretty critical bend, as this sets the angle of the forward spar for the horizontal stabilizer. So it is important to get it right, but again, the instructions tell you to clamp it between 2 pieces of wood and whack it with a mallet to bend it. So the best I could do was go measure that at the vise you saw. I bent it, I measured it again, I pulled it back and forth, moved it here and there. Ultimately what I came down to was I put it here on the side of the workbench, and I measured from the workbench to the hole, the top of the bracket, the first hole on each side, and it was within a 32nd of an inch, or probably even a 64th of an inch. It was right on. Measuring it over here on paper, so I did kind of a double check. I put it on paper, I traced the line, then I traced a straight extension on that line, and measured out to a point of where one of the rivet holes exists, so that I had a same point of measure on each side, and it is down to the 32nd of an inch. So I think that's going to be good enough for the accuracy of this thing. At least I hope it is. If somebody feels differently on that, I'd love to hear your comments or concerns or thoughts. So drop me a comment there, and we'll talk about it.
So this is the repeat process for the other side, the bottom part. This is the HS814 bracket. The top one was the HS810. So basically just the same thing over again on the different part that rivets to the front spar.
Okay friends, so after lots of measuring, lots of back and forth to the vise with wood blocks and my very highly calibrated arm elbow measuring tools, both of these pieces are within a 64th of an inch end to end. So when putting the part on the table, measuring up to the last rivet hole, from end to end, they're within a 64th of an inch, and to each other, they are within a 64th of an inch. So I think that's probably as close as I'm going to get it. I'll probably do one more check to make sure, or just to see what the protractor reads. Like I said, that thing is so sensitive that just breathing on it, pushing on it just a little bit, I mean, it's so very sensitive that you could be off a 1/10 of a degree very easily. I also drew this out on paper. Again, like I told you, I drew the lines, then drew a straight line for a reference point, put them on there, measured, and they're also within a 64th of an inch. So the two of them are, for all intents and purposes, the same, which is good. So that means there won't be any kind of discontinuity in the top versus the bottom of the spar, which I don't know if there could be anyway. I think they're pretty accurate. So like I said, I'll get the digital protractor, do one more check, and I think we're going to call it good.
So can't leave well enough alone and continue to measure. Getting to be about the end of my build day here and start closing up for Saturday. We'll get to a little outro segment here in just a second, but want to thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you like, hit the like. If not, let me know. Subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned. More videos on their way. Thanks, everyone.
All right, everyone. We're closing up shop for today, Saturday, October 18th. Not displeased with the progress that I made, but it is moving a little bit slowly, right? And I think that's okay. I'd rather go slowly and not make mistakes than rush through things and make a lot of costly mistakes. So we'll pick it up again tomorrow. And until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Jeff and Paper Gary out.